Hey, this is Dr. Fields. So I wanted to discuss this number that I use a lot, and that is 3,500 calories equaling 1 pound of fat. So I know that there is research out there to show that this number may not be so reliable. It may not be 3,500 calories exactly that equals a pound of fat. And people can get really caught up in numbers and what have you. And the reason why I use them, especially that one in particular, is really to illustrate about, what it takes to really lose a significant amount of weight. And a significant amount of weight, in my mind, is a pound of weight. So don't get too caught up in this number. It's just a general guideline. I do find it very useful because if I set up a weight loss plan for one of my clients, that it does usually yield results that are very similar to a pound of fat lost each week if we're cutting it down by 3,500 calories, or if we're cutting down the weekly amount of calories by 7,000 calories. It comes out pretty close to 2 pounds a week. So it's a good metric to use just to get an idea of what it takes. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is to know whether or not you are in a weight gaining or weight maintenance phase. And then, if it's a weight gaining or weight maintenance phase, understanding that there's going to be a difference in terms of the calories that you have to take away from your weekly eating. So in other words, if you're in a weight gaining phase, you need to take calories away so that you stop gaining weight, but then you have to take additional calories away to actually start losing weight. And if you're in a weight maintenance phase, that's really nice. And I know you might be like, well, it's not nice to be maintaining this weight, but it is really nice in the sense that you know that all it takes is taking away some calories here and there, and you will put yourself in a deficit. And it really has to do with how big of a deficit you want to put yourself in. Listen, at the end of the day, any deficit is great because you will lose weight in time for sure if you're in a deficit. You may only lose like a pound every couple of weeks, but hey, you're losing weight rather than maintaining or gaining. So that's great. So don't get too caught up in the numbers. I think it's more important to know what phase you're in and then to start looking at areas in your eating pattern where you can cut back. And as I've discussed previously, there is almost always a pattern to our eating. So it's really about establishing a new pattern that includes less calories, one that is basically based off of our current eating pattern, but just minus some calories here and there, whether it be snacks, condiments, extra meals, or even reducing portions to a bit. Don't jump to reducing portions in terms of your three main meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, before you start getting rid of snacks and those kind of things, because those are usually the culprits. Okay, this is Dr. Eric Fields. I hope that you will not obsess so much about that number anymore. Understand it's just a guideline, and focus more on where you can cut back. I'll have more to say on this topic at a later time. Take care.